Have you ever wished you could just skip sleep entirely? Think about it. No more setting alarms. No more hitting snooze 5 times. No more feeling groggy in the morning. Just pure, endless wakefulness. Imagine what you could do with an extra 8 hours every single day. That's a third of your life, back in your hands. You could learn new skills. Build a business. Binge watch every show ever made. Twice. But here's the thing, what if this actually happened? What if tomorrow you woke up and you just never needed sleep again? Would it be the ultimate superpower, or would it turn into your worst nightmare? Today, we're diving deep into this wild scenario. And trust me, the answers might surprise you. Let's get into it. Okay, so picture this. You wake up one morning and something feels different. You're not tired. At all. You go about your day, completely normal. Work, school, whatever. The hours pass by. Then bedtime rolls around, and you're still wide awake. Not in that I had too much coffee kind of way. But in a genuinely not tired way. So you stay up. You watch a movie. Play some games. Scroll through your phone. Midnight comes. 1 a.m. 2 a.m. Still, nothing. No yawning. No heavy eyelids. You feel perfectly fine. 3 a.m. 4 a.m. The sun starts to rise. And you realize, holy crap. I didn't sleep. And I feel amazing. At first, this would be absolutely incredible. Think about what you could accomplish. You could finally finish that project you've been putting off. You could get ahead on work. Study for exams without that desperate, last-minute panic. You'd have time to actually pursue your hobbies. Learn guitar. Master a new language. Get absolutely shredded at the gym. The possibilities would feel endless. And let's be honest, for the first few weeks, maybe even months, you'd probably feel like you'd unlocked some kind of cheat code for life. While everyone else is wasting a third of their existence unconscious, you're out here maximizing every single hour. You'd be more productive than you've ever been. More accomplished. More everything. But then, things would start to get weird. Here's something most people don't think about. Sleep isn't just about rest. It's social. Think about it. When do most people hang out? After work. Evenings. Weekends. But when everyone else goes to bed, what do? Suddenly, you've got 8, 9, 10 hours every night, completely alone. At first, that might sound peaceful. Finally, some me time, right? But night after night after night? It would get lonely. Really lonely. Your friends are asleep. Your family's asleep. The entire world is asleep. Sure, there are other night owls out there. People working night shifts. Insomniacs, gamers in different time zones. But it's not the same. You'd start to feel disconnected. You'd see your friends less, because while they're sleeping and recharging, you're just existing. Waiting. Relationships would get tricky too. Imagine being in bed next to your partner, and they're peacefully sleeping while you're just lying there. Wide awake. Staring at the ceiling. Every single night. You couldn't cuddle and fall asleep together. You couldn't have those lazy Sunday mornings in bed. Sleep is a shared human experience. And without it, you'd be on the outside looking in. Now let's talk about what's happening inside your head. Because here's the thing, sleep isn't just downtime. Your brain is incredibly busy while you sleep. It's processing memories. Cleaning out toxins. Consolidating everything you learned that day. Sleep is when your brain does its maintenance work. So what happens when that maintenance never happens? Well, scientists have studied sleep deprivation pretty extensively. And the results are terrifying. After just 24 hours without sleep, your brain starts to struggle. Your reaction time slows down. Your decision-making gets worse. After 48 hours, you start having micro-sleeps. These tiny moments where your brain just shuts off for a few seconds. Even if you're standing up. After 72 hours? Hallucinations. Paranoia. Your grip on reality starts to slip. Now imagine that going on forever. Your memory would be a disaster. See, when you sleep, your brain transfers information from short-term to long-term memory. It's like hitting the save button on everything you experienced that day. Without sleep, that process never happens. You'd struggle to remember conversations. Where you put your keys, what you did yesterday. Your brain would be constantly overloaded, with no way to organize or process anything. Learning new things would become almost impossible. Because learning requires memory consolidation, which requires sleep. You'd be stuck in this weird loop of experiencing things, but never really retaining them. And let's talk about the glymphatic system. Yeah, I know. Weird name. Basically, while you sleep, your brain has this cleanup crew. It flushes out toxic proteins that build up during the day. Things like beta-amyloid, which is linked to Alzheimer's disease. Without sleep, those toxins just accumulate. Day after day. Week after week. Year after year. Your brain would essentially be drowning in its own waste products. And over time, that would lead to serious cognitive decline. We're talking about damaged neurons, impaired brain function, possibly even irreversible brain damage. So yeah, not sleeping might give you more hours in the day. But the quality of those hours would get worse and worse and worse. Let's get real for a second. Even if your body somehow didn't physically need sleep, your mind would still crave it. Because sleep is an escape. It's a reset button. A break from consciousness. A chance for your mind to just stop. Without that, your mental health would take a nosedive. Think about your worst day ever. Maybe you were stressed, anxious, overwhelmed. What did you do? Probably looked forward to going to bed. Because sleep meant a break. A chance to wake up and start fresh. But if you never sleep, there is no break. There is no reset. There is no escape. Every emotion, every stress, every worry, it just piles up. You'd be stuck in a constant state of wakefulness with no relief valve. No way to process or release all that mental weight. Studies show that sleep deprivation absolutely destroys emotional regulation. Little things would start to feel massive. You'd be irritable, anxious, depressed. Your mood would swing wildly because your brain wouldn't have the chance to recalibrate. And here's the really scary part. Without the ability to sleep it off, to wake up and feel better, those negative emotions would compound. Day after day after day, you'd be trapped in your own head. 24/7. 365 days a year. No breaks. No pause button. No relief. That's not freedom. That's psychological torture. Okay, so we've talked about the brain and the mind. But what about your actual body? Because sleep affects everything. Your immune system. Your metabolism. Your cardiovascular health. Your hormones. Without sleep, your body would start falling apart. Let's start with your immune system. While you sleep, your body produces cytokines. These are proteins that fight infection and inflammation. No sleep means no cytokines. You'd get sick constantly. Every cold. Every flu. Every virus. Your body wouldn't be able to fight anything off. And injuries? They'd take forever to heal, because most tissue repair happens during deep sleep. Cut your finger? That's gonna take weeks instead of days. Then there's your metabolism. Sleep regulates hormones like leptin and ghrelin. These control hunger and fullness. Without sleep, those hormones go haywire. You'd be constantly hungry, craving junk food, especially sugar and carbs. Because your body would be desperately searching for energy, since it's not getting the restoration that sleep provides. You'd probably gain a ton of weight. Your risk of diabetes would skyrocket. And your heart? Sleep gives your cardiovascular system a break. Your blood pressure drops. Your heart rate slows. Without that nightly recovery period, your heart would be under constant stress. Hypertension, heart disease, stroke. All of these risks would multiply. Oh, and let's not forget growth hormone. Your body releases most of its growth hormone during deep sleep. This is crucial for muscle repair, bone density, and overall physical recovery. Without it, you'd feel weak, fragile. Your athletic performance would tank. Even just walking upstairs would start to feel exhausting, because your muscles would never fully recover from the day's activities. Now here's a fun thought experiment. What if nobody needed sleep? What would the world actually look like? Because this wouldn't just affect you. It would change everything. First off, the economy. Suddenly, everyone has 16 extra hours a week. Maybe more. Productivity would explode. But so would work expectations. Right now, we work 8 hours because we need time to eat, sleep, and have a life. But if sleep disappeared? You can bet companies would expect more. Way more. The 40-hour work week? That'd probably become 60. 80. Maybe more. Because if you're not sleeping, why aren't you working? Cities would never sleep. Literally. Stores would be open 24/7. Restaurants, gyms, everything. The night shift wouldn't be a thing anymore. Because there'd be no difference between night and day. Time zones would become way more fluid. You could have meetings with someone in Japan at 3 a.m. No problem. The whole concept of business hours would just vanish. But here's the dark side. Entertainment would go into overdrive. Because companies would be competing for your attention all the time. Social media, streaming services, video games, they'd be engineered to keep you engaged for 18, 20, 22 hours a day. Because what else are you gonna do? The attention economy would become absolutely dystopian. And think about inequality. Right now, everyone needs sleep. Doesn't matter if you're a billionaire or broke. Sleep is the great equalizer. But without it, those with resources could exploit every waking hour. Working, learning, building wealth. Those without? They'd be stuck in an endless grind just to survive. The gap between rich and poor would explode. So, what if you never needed sleep? At first glance, it sounds amazing. More time. More productivity. More life. But when you really think about it, sleep isn't just rest. It's recovery. It's mental health. It's emotional processing. It's physical repair. It's a biological necessity, disguised as downtime. Without sleep, you wouldn't be gaining time. You'd be losing yourself. Your memory would crumble. Your emotions would spiral. Your body would break down. You'd be isolated from everyone who does sleep. Disconnected from a fundamental human experience. And society? It would probably become a nightmare, an endless grind with no escape. So maybe, just maybe, sleep isn't the enemy. Maybe those 8 hours aren't wasted. Maybe they're some of the most valuable hours of your day. Because they give you the chance to reset, to heal, to dream. And when you wake up, you get to be human again. So tonight, when you crawl into bed, maybe appreciate it a little more. Because a world without sleep isn't a world you'd actually want to live in. Alright, that's it for today. What do you think? Would you want to never sleep? Or does sleep sound pretty good right about now? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Subscribe for more thought experiments like this. Thanks for watching. And hey, sleep well tonight. You've earned it.